I remember the first time I crossed this bridge, playing my old dwarven fighter. I ran across and I stopped and I went right to that sword and I thought, can't do anything with it. It's such a weird detail to have right here in the middle of this bridge. It was like a year and a half later that I needed to do something with that sword and I completely forgot it was there. Hey everybody, I'm Kel. Now that you're here, let's talk about Neverwinter. You know how in the Chasm they had the idea that they would streamline the number of quest givers, and so everything went through Korthon? Even the dude who asks you to go and consecrate the shrines to Kelemvor, Korthon tells you to talk to him now, so instead of him sending you on that quest, it's Korthon sending you to him, so Korthon's the quest giver. There's only one quest giver after a certain point in the Chasm. Well, Whispering Caverns takes the exact opposite approach, to the point of you will find one of the most interesting quest givers in all of Neverwinter at the end of the leveling campaign, once you're done talking to Soren here. And what does it take to get past Soren? The usual: kill some mind flayers, kill some bigger mind flayers, stop some mind flayer stones. There used to be a little bit more. Go kill some really big plague changed maws and things like that, but it's all been streamlined, so you just go in and take care of a couple of quests, and the next thing you know...
You've done well, but the time has come for you to push forward into areas where no guide is yet ventured.
Wait, what? I mean, Neverwinter has a pretty specific flow for this game. I talk to somebody, I do something for him, he gives me 21 copper pieces, I pretend that's a valuable reward. Cycle repeats itself. I mean, seriously, Soren, if you're not going to be around anymore, who's going to be giving me my 21 pieces of copper?
Listen carefully, surface crawler.
Ooh, that's my kind of melodrama. I mean, you can feel the spittle coming out of your screen when he says that. And what kind of quest do we go on for the creepy evil elf tied up in the Illithid lair?
I will have my revenge on those tentacled vermin.
Don't hold back. Tell us how you really feel.
I will tell you, but you must first enact my vengeance.
Okay, but I hope you've got at least 21 pieces of copper in there somewhere.
I want you to destroy those canisters. Destroy their revered ancestors.
Ouch, that's kind of harsh, but alright, Illithids are evil through and through. And it's not like I can keep playing Neverwinter if I don't do this, because the only way to hit 20th level is to do everything I've got to do. So, off with the ancestors. There, take that, ancestors. Hey, creepy draw guy. All the ancestor brains are, well, they're gone.
The mind flayers bring forth their lava in specially prepared birthing pools.
And I think I see where this is going.
The hidden pocket in my belt pouch holds a vial of extremely powerful poison. Find the vial and introduce its contents to one of the birthing pools. The poison will kill thousands of nascent mind flayers at a stroke.
Dang. And for my first video in Neverdeath, I was talking about how Neverdeath was dark in the past, but not dark like what do you do with the kobold babies dark. That's a debate that's torn apart quite a few adventuring parties. But, well, I guess I don't want to say good news. The news is there's no debate. You've got two choices. Help the genocidal elf against the evil imaginary squid people, or stop playing Neverwinter, because it's your only way to get to 20th level. Choice is yours. And it's a choice I've made like a dozen times. But hey, if you look in the monster manual, it says Illithids are lawful evil, so it's a good thing. Right? Objectives complete.
The mind flayer you seek Revered Thlorrog, whom we all must serve. No! It hides in the Illithid Enclave, searching for an ancient elder brain. Destroy him!
Oh, thank goodness. Homicide. That's like 90% of the quest in Neverwinter, so... Alright, we're back in safe territory now. So here we go. We're hunting Revered Thlorrog. And, of course, we understand what to do with these crystals to make the sliding psychic doors go down so that we can keep going. Nothing's going to stop us from killing a few more dwarves. We got to kill all the dwarves between us and Revered Thlorrog, which I got to say is like the most fun ever to say. If you haven't said Thlorrog recently, you say it with me. Say it with me here. Thlorrog. Come on. That feels good, right? It just comes right off the tongue. Thlorrog. I can see why they revere him. It's a cool name. All right, we are almost there. And, oh, yeah, when you get to this bridge with these waterfalls, just remember there's always a nature kit there. It's kind of become a ritual for me. Sometimes they mix up where the skill nodes and things are when you get to these reused portions of terrain, but every single time I found this bridge between those two waterfalls, no matter where it is, Well of Dragons, Whispering Caverns, I know it appears in other places, there's always that nature kit there. I mean, it's the same treasure every time, but it's just there. It's kind of become a ritual. So we crossed the bridge. Oh, and don't forget also, there's a little thing here where you can drop down and run up the path, and there's treasure up there at the top, which is also a nice little touch. Man, the things we won't do for 2 silver pieces and a potion of defense. Just a little bit further, and man, you take one look at that guy. That's a Thlorrog. He totally lives up to that name. Try not to be distracted by the scenery in the background, but I gotta say, as fun as it is to de-Thlorrog the North Dark, like, you come for the Thlorrog, you stay for the scenery in the Thlorrog's lair. It's just this really cool, fun, Hellraiser 2 Leviathan kind of cityscape. And every single time I have defeated Thlorrog, I have stopped and just taken in the view. Man, I absolutely love this view. I am not a huge fan of the Whispering Caverns as an adventure zone, but if anything justifies the fact that the leveling campaign ends on this endless parade of Drow, Duergar, and Illithids, it's getting to see this when it's all over. I know, your mileage may vary. You may be sitting there going, that's lame. But personally, I don't know what it is. Probably because I grew up on Clive Barker. Those floating things up there, that maze down below. To me, this just brings back all kinds of memories, but it also just evokes all sorts of cool story ideas, adventures. I'd play a mod that took me down there. I would totally play a mod that took me down there. Also, one last thing. I've been checking this quite a few times for quite a long time. If you run over here, this happens. This weird pigment change. It happens every single time. I don't know why. I can't imagine it's actually programmed. But I gotta say, it looks kind of neat here too. First time I did it, I thought, oh my god, I broke it. But when you leave, it goes back to normal. It's just interesting. Alright, we are done fighting Revered Thlorrog. We have saved the Whispering Caverns. We have traveled deeper than the chasm. And we have found things way weirder than what was stuck in that poor dwarf's head way back at the beginning in that drow outpost. We're going to meet up with Soren, who's conveniently come to find us in the most dangerous part of the Underdark, and he's going to send us back to Sergeant Knox so we can get our reward, our pat on the back, and we can hit level 20, finally. And I gotta say, if there is an upside to Jewel of the North chopping out so much of what used to be in Neverwinter, if you've been following this channel, you know that I am a sucker for the storyline. And this element right here, where you have finished the leveling campaigns and you are getting your reward for all the hard work, and Sergeant Knox for the first time is outside the Adventurers Guild, which is a huge red flag, and he sends you to the Adventurers Guild, and then this happens.
All your meddling in my plans.
It just makes my cold, evil dungeon master's heart sing to think that in true Dungeons & Dragons fashion, these 6 basically unrelated adventures have been linked together in a way so that it feels like there's been a plan going on. And you haven't just been going after Valindra, but Valindra has been noticing that the same person keeps showing up every time she's got this foolproof plan to conquer the realms. For Zastam, of course. And you keep showing up. And it just seems like such a cool way to wrap everything up, to have her just suck you off to her tower and decide to punish you individually. And of course, you prevail because you're 20th level now, and who could possibly stop you? It's just a really cool capstone. It's a really neat idea if we need to have leveling campaigns that take you from first level all the way up to 20th level. Then there really needs to be a storyline behind it. And Valindra creates a really interesting and cool storyline. Especially since right around this time the game would end around Dragonbone Vale, which was a huge Valindra storyline. It all goes together really well, and it really works as kind of a tight little collection of adventures. It's not so much the same that you feel like you're just playing the same thing over and over. Like when you play a 5th edition adventure path, say you take Curse of Strahd, for the next year or 2 years, you're going to be playing adventures in Barovia, and you know it's all angled towards fighting Strahd. And maybe that works for some people, but that gets dry after a while. You want a little variety in your game, you know? You want to fight something other than Strahd zombies. And so this gives you that chance to go fight werewolves in Velosk, and go fight goblins in Icespire, and fight Plague Changed in the Chasm. There's just a lot of variety here that is linked together the way a lot of Dungeons & Dragons campaigns are. So for all the things that Neverwinter doesn't do that are Dungeons & Dragons, I think it's worth pointing out that this feels like a campaign with a variety of different places to go, a variety of different goals to achieve. But in the end, there is a bad guy that's out there. Even if they're not manipulating every enemy you fought, they're out there. And you get to face them down in the end and get a sort of grand finale. And that's pretty cool. Alright, you are now 20th level. You are talking to Knox, and he is telling you that Lord Neverember himself has invited you to receive a great big thank you.
I understand I have you to thank for protecting us from Valindra's shadow mantle and a long list of other services to the people of Neverwinter.
And who should turn out for this most auspicious of occasions? Well, naturally, a lot of people that aren't in the game anymore. Hazel the Alchemist, Zoe and Abby Fargo, Shill Yargo, Old Jerry, Seven Toes. These are all characters that you used to get to meet in places like Black Lake and Black Dagger and the Tower District. characters that had personality and memories that last with you for a long time after playing the game. Which is why I remember all of them, because I got to meet each of them once with my first character, and once again with my first character on PC. And then Jewel of the North came in and basically removed all of these people from the game. But hey, they show up one more time to congratulate you for a job well done. And, you know, Chettlebell's there, Nox is there, Makos is there. So, I mean, it's not like it's a bunch of people you don't know. And who's ever been to a party where they knew everybody that was there? So, it's a little bit of added realism. Whole bunch of strangers who are happy for you that you did something great. And all you can do is smile and nod, say thank you. I remember you too. You were that guy that was there in the place when the thing happened. And then you move on, and you have completed 20 levels of Neverwinter. You can equip any gear in the game. Now, instead of gaining levels, your goal is to gain item level. And we're going to talk about that in our future videos. I hope you liked what you've seen here so far through the leveling campaign. We're about to move on into the modules and the updates that have happened with Neverwinter over the years. I hope you'll continue joining us. If you like what you've seen, please like and subscribe and leave a comment in the comment section below. Love to hear from you, and I hope to see you next time when we talk about Neverwinter.